Jeremy, you have something on top of your mind as a softball you can throw at me to get everybody else's palate going?
Yeah, I actually do. One thing that's been on top of my mind is ad spend. Is it better to leverage a platform like Amazon to sell that given book, or is it better to do it more natively on a landing page on a website where you can have more control over the direction the traffic goes and what they do?
What an awesome question to start with, because I can come at this from a couple of different ways. First and foremost, I want to share with you that we work with mom and pops and Fortune 100 companies, and that's a real strength of Marstudios because we can steal one Fortune 100 ideas for our mom and pop businesses, and also take mom and pop business concepts to our Fortune 100 companies, which can be kind of unique sometimes too. So the answer to that question that you asked me, my initial intuition is why not do both? Because what I like in doing both is it creates an A/B, right? And as you're evaluating both of those options, why don't you look at the pros and cons of doing both and see if there's one, not for the purposes of eliminating one, but for the purposes of prioritizing one over the other. And say, okay, I'm going to start with this one because this one looks more promising. You come up, remember in elementary school, high school, lab science, we came up with a hypothesis and then we did it. This is just lab work. Like in your cousin's case, I would assume this is his ambition, his goal, this is his dream, this is what he wants to do. If it is, then these are things that he could potentially undertake and doing on his own. And if he has some seed capital to invest, there are companies that specifically consult in, doing Amazon, shopping carts, specifically even for authors, you could get that niche with it. But ultimately, I would look at, making those. So the narrative I think is important either way. And you try to leverage Amazon's, container template to fit that narrative into it, because that's the overarching thing is the narrative and the story, and then fitting that into Amazon's template. And then when it comes to his own brand creation, user engagement, web e-commerce solution that people are going to journey through, then he can actually make that journey or story as expansive as he wants. Not only through the homepage and landing pages, but through sales funnels, sales landing pages, and so forth and so on, through imagery, videography, videos, anything that you can think of. And then I would start capturing, I would capture the data between the two to see which one's more viable. But those would be two really good outlets to start with. Why not? Why invest all of your time and energy in just one of those? I think there's enough bandwidth to do both of those potentially.